everyone. Got an awesome video for you guys today. It's a quick interview with my boy James. He's a hooper, played everywhere. I'm super excited for you guys to watch it. So before we get into it, of course, if you guys please can go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like it, and let's run that intro before we get going. Hey YouTube, how are you guys doing today? I got a special guest with me today. His name is James, all the way from Orlando. Gonna get to know him a little bit, talk about basketball. How you doing today, James?
Doing good, man. Beautiful day outside. A little rain on the way, but yeah.
That's good. That's good. So I just want to ask some questions, get to know you, let the fans know about you. I know you a hooper, you a diehard hooper. I know you
hmm
got a little setback going on. I know you tore your ACL, but I know you're getting back into it. How's that going?
Going pretty good. Is I'm 1 month in post op, which means after surgery, and I was making small progress, but still got 8 more months of recovery, so we're on the right track.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So I want to get this started is just give a quick introduction about yourself. Just talk basketball, how you fell in love with it, and pretty much it. Just give a little brief history about yourself before we get into the real questions.
So brief history. No, I'm originally from Baltimore, Maryland. Yeah, until about 15, 16. Came down to Kissimmee, 10th grade. Started playing basketball here as well. Started making a lot more friends. This became my second home. Beyond that, I mean, like, the connections I made since I've been here, it kind of just led me into the
Mm-hmm.
position that I am now. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people that I actually know now is because of, my passion for the game.
That's dope. Nice. So basketball wise, what made you attract you to basketball? Well, first, what age did you start playing basketball, and when did you start falling in love basketball, and when did you feel like basketball can be something that you can be doing way into the future?
I didn't even play basketball until maybe I was like 13.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, about 13, I would say. I got introduced to AAU when I was trying out for my ninth grade team at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So I tried that out. I mean, I just like to be able to just run up and down. I was just super active, more athletic as a child. So, I just started to give it a try. And the more I played, the better I got every single game. And I
Mm-hmm.
eventually I made my junior varsity team for ninth grade in Baltimore City. I went to Carver Tech. That's a technical high school there. So I went there, played for a year, wound up in it, winning MVP trophy my first year ever playing organized basketball. And I actually wanted to take it serious because that was like my little motivation right there. So shortly after that, moved down here to Florida, started to play at Point Center High School. Still had to go through the whole trying out process, even though I was a transfer. First year there, it's kind of tough. Started out junior varsity, probably didn't even play a game in junior varsity. I got bumped straight up to varsity to help those guys out, and I believe we did district runner up that year, but we still did good. And after that, we just got better and better. District champions, went into regionals our senior year, breaking a couple records here and there. Met a lot of great guys. Started playing AAU for heart and soul. And after that, man, I just kept turning that wheel, and I was like, okay, I think I want to go to college. Like college wasn't something that I actually thought about my whole life. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Due to certain living situations, college was something that I really didn't think about until I would say late junior year, all senior year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of late bloomer with everything. So once I see how good I started to become with the game, how smart I become with the game, I actually wanted to give it a little more push and see how far in college I can go. And after that, see how far overseas I can go with the game. And really, fell in love with the game, man. Never put it down once I
Mhm.
picked it up.
So let's take a little back. You said getting into college. I know you said it was a little bit hard, and so what? Walk me through the process of you trying to find the right college for you, and how were you able to find a college that felt right?
See, the process of finding the right college for me was probably a little different because, like I said, I was a late bloomer. I was really relying on my academics at first, um, to get me into college. So my major was physical therapy, but
Mm-hmm.
I could have went to any other college for a physical therapy degree. But the only school that was accepting me and extending a scholarship to play basketball was a business school. They didn't have the
Mm-hmm.
physical therapy major, but they did have the classes that equal up to it. So my picks were very narrow. I wound up going NAIA D2. It was a choice between Warner and Weber. I went to Weber. So I was there for 2 years, and I just did what I had to do with diligence to the process. Turns out it didn't work for me. After 2 years, I stopped and came home for like a year or so, and then started, training very hard. And then after that, I went overseas for a couple of summers. That worked out for me. And then after that, returned back to Central Florida and just kept hooping with semi-pro teams, Ace League appearance, and things of that sort. So, like, as far as college, man, it really wasn't too much of a broad option for me, like a lot of people are gifted with. I kind of just really
Mm-hmm.
had to roll with the punches until I was able to figure out what was the best path.
And do you feel that adversity that you faced in college and gave you those bumps and bruises made you better now, or you still feel like there's something that you can still grow from?
I think there's always room for improvement, but I really feel like because of the path that I took, it built a lot of grit within inside of me. It built a lot of discipline, and it definitely made me the tough person I am today.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I was on a scholarship, I had to earn my spot from the first day, very first day. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and I never stopped working. It turned me into a gym rat. It really showed me that no matter which level you go to, every time you advance one, you have to reset and kind of forget everything and adjust to where you're at. So yeah, because of the college experience I've had, it definitely made me a
Mm-hmm.
lot stronger.
Got you. That's good. And let's talk about your semi-pro uh, level now before we get into your overseas journey. So, talk about some of the teams you play with right now and are looking to play with or possibly play with. How are those things going? I know a couple teams you played for. I've been part of those teams also, but how do you feel those stuffers going for you?
I started out playing semi-pro. My first ever semi-pro team was the Florida Flight, located in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was a pretty good experience to be starting out. The more I learned about the program, the more I learned that it wasn't a fit for me. And
Mm-hmm.
then one of my teammates, I won't say his name, but he will be on the show later. He actually made his own team, and I decided to partner with him because I believed in what he stood for and what he was trying to do for the community. So I wound up playing
Yeah.
for the Point Center Pride. That was the first name, and then later in the season, probably like a year or two after that, we changed the name from the Point Center Pride to the Pride. So I was a part of that organization for about 4 to 5 years or so. Really started out rocky, but it was a great exposure for me. It helped me become borderline pro player at that point. Sharpened a lot of my skills, a lot of my athleticism, a lot of my basketball IQ. So that was a great experience for me from Point Center Pride. And then as we go forward in time, I met with the team called IBCK. That's basically who I am
Mm-hmm.
in contact with now. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is a very, very good organization. They really care about the players. The way they play is a lot different from Americans. It's a Venezuelan-based team, and I was really, really enjoying myself playing with them. All up until I got hurt. Unfortunately, I got hurt playing outside of a league. So before I actually was able to play a full season with them, I
Mm-hmm.
got hurt. And I did have the opportunity to play in the Amway Center multiple times with IBCK, and I did have the opportunity to play there again with Florida Flight as well. So it was a lot of great exposure moments, a lot of opportunities for me to network and rub elbows with the right people.
Mm. And you said playing on at the Amway. For some people that don't know, the Amway Arena is the Orlando Magic's home court. For those people that don't know what it feels like to play on an NBA court, what is that feeling, that moment when you step on an NBA court? It may not be an NBA game,
Yeah.
but it's still like not a lot of people get that experience to play on an NBA court. Can you
Okay.
talk to us
I'm
about what that feels like?
gonna try to paint the picture for you. Even if the crowd isn't full, you feel the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
It's immense pressure.
Yeah.
Um, Even all the way down to the tiles. The tiles are different. The rim is different. The backboard is different. The depth perception is different. 94 feet doesn't feel the same. It feels like 194 feet. The lanes are a lot
Yeah.
wider, so therefore you gain a better understanding for why people are so tall, why they commit to drafting bigger players to, shrink the floor a little bit. And it's
Mm-hmm.
really like you feel like a kid again when you're out there. Like your steps are no longer adult steps; they're very small.
Yeah.
So it takes
Yeah.
quite a bit to get from one side to the other. So really just to
Mm-hmm.
sum it all up, man, it's really a euphoric experience, man. Like you until you get that first break in action, you really still like on a high of this. I'm still on the NBA court. I dreamed of being here. Although I'm not on an NBA team, I thought I would never be on the same floor as I just watched my favorite players play on. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, and what people don't know is the day we booked, because I was there for media coverage and helping
uh-huh.
out with like photography and stuff like that.
Yep.
But it's crazy because I was there the day before, and the Lakers just finished playing a game there, and we were joking. We sat in the same seats that LeBron and Anthony Davis were sitting, and we're like, "Yo, it's crazy that these
Crazy.
guys were just sitting here, and we're just sitting there like it's nothing."
Exactly.
So
It was
that's dope. Yeah.
that's really, really dope. And also during that time, even I mean if you're lucky enough, you might have some time to meet some of the players if they're in the building, some of the coaches if they're in the building. But you do get a
Hmm.
unique experience of going to the locker room, the training facility, the tunnel action going in and out. This, the announcements calling your name starting lineup, calling your name every time you score a bucket. All the exaggerating moments you see on TV, you get that personal experience, even though you're not in an NBA jersey. So it's definitely an
Yeah.
experience. I recommend all hoopers to experience that at least one time. It's very humbling.
Yeah. For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
So now let's get into your overseas. Where exactly did you play overseas, and can you talk to us about what that experience was like? Because again, not every hooper has that wish of playing professional basketball somewhere. It may not be NBA, but overseas somewhere. Can you walk us through as what it felt like playing overseas and actually doing something you love?
Yeah, yeah. So going overseas, it was definitely a humbling experience. It was a blessing all in one sense. Um, First of all, it was a culture shock. If you've never been outside the United States, everyone around you speaks a completely different language, so you have to be a little bit witty on that before you go. The currency exchange is a lot different, and the love you get is something probably you would never imagine being growing up in your country
Mm,
because they actually embrace the fact that you took the opportunity to come there and play for that country. So they actually pour nothing but love into you. So the heat was one of the most unbearing factors. I have to put that out there. I had to drink a lot of
yeah,
water. Some people almost passed out there because of the heat was a lot different from being in the United States. The food was different, so it take you about a day, maybe 3 days to get used to that food. But as far as the style of play, man, it's rough. It's very rough, especially because they don't know who
yeah,
you are. This is your first year or first time they've ever seen you. They don't owe you anything. You have no rank inside of their league. So, I caught a couple elbows to the stomach, to the throat. I've been knocked down. I've argued with the refs. I've argued with players. So it's very, very hostile, intense environment, especially for us Americans, because Americans, we are looked at on such a high level when it comes to the game of basketball. So they expect you to perform at such a high level as if you're a Kobe or LeBron or a Stephen Curry, like those superstars of the league. They expect you to bring that same energy, talent, and passion to their league so they can grow and become compatible with the NBA. But I did have a chance to travel to El Salvador and play there for 2 summers. A lot of people don't get that opportunity. I had a chance to play in almost every city in El Salvador, from Sonsonate all the way to La Union, which is on the other side of El Salvador. I would say more so the east side of El Salvador. Um,
Mm-hmm.
One of the toughest games I had was against El Salvador's national team. I was almost had a double double. Had about 19 points, 8 to 9 rebounds, like 2 3 assists. Not too much passing going on. But it was a great experience, you know. It was a great experience. My matchup was I forgot his name. Sorry, I forgot his name, the national player, but I got pictures and everything. But that dude was probably the toughest guy I had to guard in my life. He was like 6'8", like 250. Dude was solid, and I ain't nothing. But I was like 6'4", 180, 190. You know, I'm kind of a
Yeah.
slim dude, but I'm tall. But he was a crazy matchup. So that experience, it humbled me a lot. It helped me get ready for the next summer and any challenge that came after that. But overall, it was a humbling and beautiful experience for me. I encourage everybody to just, even if you feel like you can't get overseas at a high level like Europe and Turkey leagues and stuff like that, China, it's always a league for somebody. So if you're watching out there, bro, you got a dream. Don't stop. Keep doing your research and always stay ready. Don't wait for the opportunity to present itself. You have to go get it.
And that's what my next question to you is: what would you advise to somebody that wants to play overseas but is having a hard time trying to get to that level? He may not have an agent, his coaches may not be helping him like that, but I know you kind of went through that same process that you had to really do it a lot for yourself. So advice would you give somebody that wants to do that also?
Okay, I'm gonna start with the agent part. I had an agent for about a year, and anything that he did for me, I kind of was already doing for myself. So you don't want to put yourself in a predicament where you're getting an agent, you're signing and buying to a contract, and he's reaping the harvest of your hard work when you can actually do everything yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are one of those
Mm-hmm.
guys who isn't a top caliber player, I do recommend that you put yourself on the floor and in the same area of those caliber players, whether it's having to travel out of your comfort zone, out of your state to go play somewhere else. Um, am actually paying to be there and play in between the lines with these guys, because footage means everything. We live in a social media era, so footage means everything. Is all about resume. Who have you played against? Who have you played with? Who has coached you? Where have you played at? What are your numbers? So make sure you record everything. You know what I'm saying? Like your workouts, so you can make sure you get in better. Make sure you're recording every single moment of the game, not just highlights. They want to see on ball action. They want to see off ball action. They also want to see how you react when you've been subbed in and out of the game. They want to see how you react when you're not
Mm-hmm.
even touching the ball at certain positions at a time. So if you are a
Yeah.
low caliber player who isn't ranked, I would do encourage you to keep chasing that dream. Don't ever give up, and make sure you use your time wisely. Put yourself in the circle. Don't wait for the circle to come to you.
Nice. Good advice. Like it. Like it. So last questions I got for you. Then we got a cool little game at the end. Um, I know you had a little stint of G League tryouts.
I did.
I know it's a little bit. Yeah, I know it's a little
Cool.
difficult
Yeah.
to get into those teams and tryouts, but walk us through the process of trying out for the Orlando Magic's G League team and what it felt like and what experience did you feel you gained from trying out for that. You actually got to talk to a bunch of NBA type caliber coaches and scouts and trainers, and maybe you can share some of the advice they gave to you back.
um, Trying out for that uh, G League team, the Orlando Magic, I learned that you have to start early. Nobody tells you that. You have to really, really start early, and that's as far as probably
Mm-hmm.
middle school. You have to develop certain habits and disciplinary actions through middle school, high school, all the way through college. And also, is I learned that it's not about what you do or what you know; it's about who you know as well. Because I was there and I was doing my thing. I was hooping. I'm a diligent hooper. I don't cheat the process, so I was obviously pretty good at what I was doing at the time. And what shocked me was when I was separated and put onto the main court with some of the other high caliber guys, they were a lot younger than me, but the coach knew them by first name, which was very shocking.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, how does he know this young kid here? And automatically, I'm not gonna lie, you kind of will feel some sort of discouragement, but you can't let that stop you. So if I can give you any advice, always train for tomorrow. Don't wait for tomorrow. Train for tomorrow. Make sure you're beyond ready to make sure you don't give the coach any reasonable doubt to look past you. Everybody can shoot. Everybody can play defense. Everybody is athletic at that point of their lives. So you have to do something that stands out. Being a great team player, running the floor, doing the intangible things. You know what I mean? So and also that one-on-one basketball is not real when it comes to that level. You have to be a complete team player. Do your homework early,
Mm-hmm.
so that way you can execute when the time is right.
And I try to anybody that I talk to basketball is as kids when I play against them or learn they're trying to learn and trying to get to that next level.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell them that yeah, you may be able to shoot the ball, but what else can you provide for a team? Because there's another kid out there that can shoot the ball too as well as you can, but he can probably play defense or he can rebound better than you.
100%.
So obviously, there's gonna come if it always gonna come down to two choices, and they're always gonna go with the one that does a little bit more for the team. So I always say that to the younger players to make sure you do other little things too that'll put you out and stand you out. So
Absolutely.
so last last question I got for you is if you have any advice or anything you want to say to the people watching on how you can be the best player you can possibly be. Any advice for anybody watching?
Uh, Really, the most advice I can give you on that, uh, think outside the box. I know you want to be like your favorite player. I'm saying my favorite player, Kobe. Guys of that sort. It's like you might find yourself mimicking their moves, but also understand that it's not your body type. That's not your style of play. Take something from them, make it a reality to your
Mm-hmm.
game, but think outside the box because you have to understand by the time you get to that pro level, the game has already evolved and it will always continue to evolve. You have to do something to your game that is forever lasting. Find the niches that work for you and also advance upon them. Don't think for the now, oh, I'm going to become a better shooter. I'm going to just shoot on the line. No, spec up a little bit, do something more creative. You know what I'm saying? Like advance your game, whereas it looks futuristic because the game will always evolve. So that way you will always be,
For sure.
effective as time goes on. If you want to play ball, if you don't make it pros or not, if you still want to be considered a high level player, you have to evolve your game past, you know, the now was considered good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool, cool. All right, so you ready for this game?
I think I'm ready, man.
So, so for the fans that are watching, this is what the game is about. So we're gonna do a top five draft. James is gonna choose his five. I'm gonna choose my five. But the catch is the player can only be a direct from high school to the NBA.
Okay.
So I know what y'all thinking. That should be a small lift, but it's actually quite a few bunch of players out here that came out straight from high school to the NBA that you're like, dang, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. So since James is our guest, I'm gonna let him go first, choose his number one pick, and then I'm gonna follow right behind him.
So we go
So
one,
go ahead, James. Who
one.
you got for your number one pick?
Okay. So we going one and one or just
Yeah,
five?
so we're gonna do one, then I'll go, then no, just one and one. So you'll pick, then I'll pick, then you'll pick,
Okay.
and then I'll pick.
My first pick, straight up from NBA to college, from high school to college, my first pick will be LeBron James, number one.
LeBron James. I respect that. I respect that. All time leader in scoring. Franchise. He plays for my favorite franchise here in LA, so
Mm-hmm.
I can't be mad too that. But you know who I got to go with for my number one pick.
Look at the back.
He's my goat, and he's been since I've. He's right there in the background, But of course, I got to go with the greatest of my opinion, Kobe Bryant.
Okay. That's your one. That's
Okay,
my
okay.
one.
So now, so now number two pick for you. Who are you going
My
with?
number two pick. Does it have to be like the two position or just my number two pick?
Nah, just top five. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be
my number two
position or
pick,
anything.
arguably as skilled as Kobe Bryant. Arguably one of the greatest to ever do it. Tracy McGrady, bro. Tracy McGrady. That's my number two pick.
I respect yeah, that. I respect that they did have their battles in
Yeah,
the beginning of the 2000s.
most definitely.
So I give you that one. Now for my second pick, I'm thinking between two big men right now. They both high defensive ends on both. It's just, do I want the trash talker or do I want the one that smiles on the court 24/7? That's my
Oh,
question. But I'm gonna have to go with Kevin Garnett here because putting him with Kobe next to each other, that's a high dynamic duo right there.
oh man, that's the great pick. His energy is unmatched, even until today. It's unmatched. And if
Exactly.
he would,
He's still talking that talk even on his
you
podcast.
know what? The Lakers can actually use him right now. It's not,
Oh, you
instead of
ain't
Tristan
lying.
Thompson, they should have gave him another shot.
Bring him out of retirement.
Let me go into my third pick. You got Kevin Garnett. I think I got somebody that can match that intensity in his prime. This is
Mm.
in his prime.
Yeah, these are all prime
In
players.
his
All
prime,
prime
I'm going
players.
with Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard, man.
Ooh, that's a. Mm. So that
2020,
was the one I was leaning to. That's
yeah, 2020 champion.
Yeah, he does. He did have a salty ending. So when he was first with the Lakers, I did have my doubts when we re-signed
Uh
him,
huh.
but he proved me wrong. He definitely was helpful, especially when we played Denver. I do wish we had him right now
Mm-hmm.
because Joker's killing
Oh,
us down low. So I respect that one.
for sure. For sure. I need somebody to protect the rim. I need
Yeah,
somebody.
he's. I 100% respect that one. So now for my third pick.
Mm-hmm.
Oof, is getting once you get all the good players out the
Let's
way,
do
it's
it.
just yeah. So I actually I could put KG at the five, and I can actually get a shooter here, and I'm actually leaning on Rashard Lewis.
Mm.
Got that. Need that. Spread the floor out. KG can hit the mid range. Rashard Lewis can, at his prime, was a top 3-point shooter in the NBA.
I like that. You get a little bit of everything out of him. He ain't gonna do everything great, but he's gonna
Mm-hmm.
shoot the ball. He's gonna get a little defense, maybe a block here and there, a couple posters. Okay.
Exactly.
Uh, to give Braun a break, that's my fourth pick. I need him. I can't have him on the ball all day. Give him a break so he can do some damage off the wing. I have to go with Monte Ellis. Before Steph Curry, that was Monte Ellis. I have to go with him, right?
That's a
Yeah,
good one.
I have to go with
Yeah,
Monte
that's
Ellis.
that's a good
Yeah,
pick.
that's it.
Mm, nice. That's a good one. Oof, you're making my list a little harder now. For what is this fourth pick,
This
right? Fourth pick.
that was yeah. This is your fourth pick. I have one more pick.
Okay. Okay. Oof. Okay. For my fourth pick, I am going. Ooh, do I want to go big here? Do I want to stay big?
Yeah, you're kind of big right now.
Hmm.
Pause. But
Yeah. Oof. You know what? I'm gonna stay big. I'm going with Kwame. No, I'm just playing. That's a joke. That was a joke.
oh, how many games did he play? I don't even know.
Ooh, got every. I got every. I know. I got. Everybody was looking at me crazy right now, but I am gonna stay big though. And in his prime, he was one of the top shot blockers in the NBA and one Defensive Player of the Year. I am gonna go with Tyson Chandler.
Okay,
Hmm.
I like that. So you big down low. You got
Yeah.
Tyson Chandler down there.
Yep.
You got Kevin Garnett down there, and
And then the good thing about Rashard Lewis is he can be that three that stretches the floor out, can play defense, and if you need him to play big, he'll play big.
all right, I got a. If you, I got something for you. Last pick. I got something for that. One of the most ferocious big men, especially when you play for the Phoenix Suns with Steve Nash. You should know where I'm going with this. Amari Stoudemire.
Yeah, I know
Amari
where you're going with this.
Stoudemire. At, at,
Mm,
at a certain point in his
that's a
career, a
good one.
layup was non-existent. It was non-existent.
Mm-mm.
That's my guy. I'm going with him. So that's my five right there.
That's your
Yeah, we
five.
covering all parts.
That's a
We
good
covering
five.
all
That's a
94
good
teams.
five. Yeah, and they don't know, but you pretty big
Yeah,
too,
we big over here.
down low too.
We big,
So
and we got some
uh-huh.
athleticism on both sides. We got some speed.
Mm-hmm.
Not too many shooters besides T Mac and Monte, but we're gonna make you commit.
Gotcha. So this is tough. Hmm.
That fifth pick is come on now.
Mm-hmm.
I know who you can get to kind of settle me down, but I'm not gonna throw it out there. It's kind of maybe two people you can get to kind of balance out this if you want to stay big.
I'm I'm thinking because I may go for another wing to help be out there with Kobe. Maybe a high flyer. Hmm. I think I'm gonna go with Gerald Green out here.
Gerald Green, which one? Which Gerald Green? Which
Mm-hmm.
one?
Fingerless Gerald Green, man.
Okay, which era of Gerald Green?
My dog was shooting.
He wasn't shooting his whole career.
I need the high. I still want the high flyer, but he was starting to get maybe.
Houston Rockets.
Yeah, I'm thinking Houston Rockets because he still can get up there, but he was knocking down them
He
threes
was.
like it was like if you left them open, you know it's going
You know
in.
what? I'm surprised you didn't pick Jermaine O'Neal.
I was thinking Jermaine O'Neal, but I'm like I already got a lot of
Right. He's
bigs, and
versatile.
a lot the bigs that I got do. Yeah, but you can like match him up with Kevin Garnett. To be honest, they both play defense. They both hit the mid range. Just I feel like KG got that more that'll take you to that next
He
level.
will. He definitely will. That's a good five. Good five.
So yeah, well there you have it. People, let us know who you think would win in a 7 game series. Down low in the comments, either James' team or my team. Remember, this is my channel, so get the likes
You
over
know,
here. Yeah, but any last words, James, before we get this going?
don't forget to like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, JayForThe3. First interview of many, but he's on to something big here, so definitely please respect the hustle, respect the hustle. Last words for me, if you want to follow my social, Instagram, Jay.official. Uh, that's about it. Jay.EL official. That's my Instagram. Check me
Gotcha.
out. Appreciate you for having me, brother. As always.
Of
Love you.
course. And of course, I'll have links to his Instagram, and I'll put it up. You'll see on top of the screen. And like always, like I like to say, let's like, subscribe, and let's grow together, and let's be great. I appreciate everybody for watching, and catch you on the next video.
Peace
Peace
out.
out, fams.